It was an historic day for investors. The S&P 500, one of the broadest, most widely followed measures of the stock market, closed at a record again for the sixth straight day, making it the longest streak of record closes in 20 years. That, of course, no small feat. Investors are optimistic about broad economic growth, both here and abroad. They are encouraged by corporate earnings, and the prospect of U.S. tax reform hasn't hurt either. Today, the Dow Jones Industrial Average rallied 113 points to 22,775. The Nasdaq added 50, and that S&P 500 was up 14. Bob Pisani has more now on Wall Street's record run.
The record rally rolls on. The S&P 500 closed higher for an eighth straight day. It makes it not only the index's longest win streak in more than 4 years, it's the longest string of record closes in 20 years. We're seeing record highs right across the board, everything from small caps to mid caps to large caps like the S&P. The markets ticked higher this morning on news that the House voted to approve the Republicans' latest push for a $4 trillion budget resolution, and that it will now go to the Senate. That's big because it sets the stage for tax reform. And with tax reform back on the table, banks, material, and energy stocks are all back up. Since the presidential election last November, 5 sectors are up more than 20%. Tech, industrials, and healthcare among them. In one sector, defense stocks outpaced them all. It's up almost 40% since Trump took office. So what's going on? The economy is continuing to grow. We saw proof of that from those blowout numbers in manufacturing and services this week. Earnings are also still on a solid footing, and inflation subdued. The market's going to keep melting up in the absence of any major shock factor. What could throw the markets for a loop? 3 things. North Korea, a more aggressive new Fed chair than the markets would like, and of course, a tax reform bill that fails. But right now, the markets aren't afraid of any of that. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Bob Pisani at the New York Stock Exchange.